Hey, Besteas.
Hey.
Welcome back for another episode of the Hello Bestie podcast. I'm Maggie.
I'm Tashima.
Let's get into your book for today.
Let's get into it. So this week we have Ace of Spades, and I'll read the description on the back. When two Nevius Private Academy students, Devon Richards and Chiamaka Adebayo, are selected to be a part of the elite school senior prefects, it looks like their year's off to an amazing start. After all, not only does it look great on college applications, but it officially puts them in the running for valedictorian too. Shortly after the announcement is made, though, someone who goes by Aces begins sending anonymous texts to reveal secrets about two of them that turn their lives upside down and threaten every aspect of their carefully planned futures. As Aces shows no sign of stopping, what seemed like a sick prank quickly turns into a dangerous game, with all the cards stacked against them. Can Devon and Chiamaka stop Aces before things become incredibly deadly? Before I even get into, internet stuff, what do you rate this book?
I give it a solid 4.3.
Really? Interesting.
I enjoyed it.
I give it a 5.
Yes.
I love this book. I was so obsessed.
Good.
I love everything about this.
I love that for you.
I've been dying to have this conversation with you about this.
Yay! I'm excited. Let's get into it.
So,
it had a slow start for me. That's the only thing. Once I got into it, I got really into it.
Yeah.
It took a little while though.
It did. But it's almost like you kind of had to go through those motions for everything else to make sense.
I agree.
Otherwise, if you cut just even a little bit, you the connection just would just not quite hurt as much, or in my opinion at least. So on Audible it has a 4.5 and on Goodreads it has a 4.1. One of the 5-star reviews said it reminded me a bit of OG Gossip Girl. Definitely A-. There was a 2-star review that said DNF, about 70%, wasn't my cup of tea. They wrote 2 negative, but they wrote 2 with 1 O. So it's kind of like,
who cares what you think?
If you're not going to take time to proofread your negative reviews
of a book of all things.
What are you doing here? And 4 people thumbs it up, which is it's just strange. You know? You could have felt the same way, but the fact that they put T-O instead of T-O-O should just make that. Another 5-star review. Wow, I love this book. YA thriller. Think Get Out mixed with Gossip Girl. And it just goes on and on.
I'd heard that. I've never seen Get Out or Gossip Girl, but I heard those references a couple of times.
Wow. Someone else said, I wish I read this as a high schooler. This book definitely painted the challenges of being Black in a predominantly white school. This book was a bit slow in the beginning. It gave good character descriptions. I want to say it started picking up around chapter 20, but overall the plot was great. It definitely made my mouth hit the floor a few times. How do you think you would have reacted if you would have been the target of one of those messages? Would you have reported it, or would you, what do you think you would have done? If everybody's phone's going off and then you find out that something very intimate or personal about you has literally just been spread to the whole entire school.
I would have been extremely embarrassed. First off, extremely embarrassed. I probably would have left school for that day. I don't think I would have stayed at school for the remainder of the day. I would have went home and I would have told my parents and asked them, lay it all out. That was one thing that really bothered me about both of them, although I think the author explained very well why they didn't.
Right.
Chiamaka, I was a little bit more irritated with.
Because her parents seemed like they would have been more receptive to, hey, this is what's going on, and they probably would have been there nipping it in the bud.
Right. But then she explained that her dad was kind of like not that kind of
Aloof.
guy that would do that at all. So if you feel like they aren't going to do anything at all, I could understand why. I would have told my parents, especially with the whole, let me get the reporter and we're going to broadcast this. You still ain't said nothing to your people though?
Right. You're willing to
What?
tell the entire world.
This is how you want them to find out?
Right.
Yeah, I would have been embarrassed. There's no way I would have been able to sit through class for the remainder of the day with people sniggling and giggling and saying stuff and all of that. And then she did try to say something, and then when you find out what happens, there was no one at school that she could have told for anything to change or to improve upon at all, which is what was really messed up. Did you like Chiamaka? Did you find her to be a likable character?
It's not that I liked her or disliked her. I feel that I could understand her motivation and desire for doing what she was doing to get to where she wanted to be.
What do you mean, having the different boyfriends and having the transactional?
By any means necessary, this is what I have to do to get what I want. Part of me felt a little bad for her that she's surrounded by all of these fake people and that she couldn't really be herself except for with this one person. I guess I didn't, like in the beginning, I didn't dislike her. And then I felt bad for her. Like once you kind of everything starts to unravel. She was naive in her own way, as was Devon. You know, just her being very transactional and then Devon like just falling in love with all the wrong people. Yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
No, it kind of does. I didn't like her, and then I did kind of like her, and then I didn't like her, and I think that's the mark of a good character. Like I said, I've never seen Gossip Girl, and I felt like she was trying to give Karen Walker from Will and Grace, you know, someone who's just a little like rich, uppity, I'm gonna say what I want. But she was more in a cruel way and not in a funny way like Karen was. Like, she might hurt your feelings, but you kind of respect it because it's like...
She's like laughing.
Yeah, it was just in a delivery. Like, she just seemed like a really mean-spirited person. And like, I didn't like that her and Devon were the only two black kids in the school and never really spoke to each other at all. And then when they started speaking to each other, I didn't like how she was treating him.
I didn't like the way she was treating him either, but I think it fit her character considering that they were they were from very different socioeconomic statuses. So for her, she's like, ew, yuck.
I understand that, and I feel that. It's just that...
Because not everybody feels like, oh, just because we black, we got to be teamed up.
No, I'm not saying that they had to be best friends just because they were black. I mean, it ended up becoming that way. Obviously, in the end, they kind of needed to. I don't know if Jamie made a comment or she saw people saying things about him and she didn't like that. So it felt like she took this kind of internal protective stance of, I don't like them saying that about him, or I don't like them treating him this way, and I know that they're doing it probably because he's black, so how do they feel about me? But then when you talk to him, you're treating him like that too. That was what I didn't like about it, but I'm not saying they had to be best friends, but...
Yeah, a little bit of a hypocrite.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And there were a couple times Devon was like, I know she's not talking to me. Or, you know,
yeah. He was kind of funny at some points where he just like pointed out certain things like, why? For what? That sounds like a really stupid idea. Like you could just hear it and like see this thing happening in real life. What did you think about the candy store situation when she mysteriously had this piece of candy in her pocket?
I felt like Jamie had something to do with that. I didn't think he did at first, but it was his reaction afterwards, and then even at the store. He didn't do anything to defend her. He didn't say, no, she wouldn't do a thing like that. He was like, oh, I'll just pay for it. I'll take care of it. The whole thing just seemed very weird.
Right.
And then when they left the store... like he was treating her funny and acting crazy, and I didn't like that whole situation
a little bit.
Right.
What did you think about the whole hitting the girl with the car?
That was when I started getting interested in the book. I don't know what chapter that was or whatever, but I said it took me a while to get into it. When I heard that, I was like, okay, we're starting to get into something a little bit here.
Uh-huh.
I kind of wish the book would have opened with that because I felt like it would have grabbed my attention immediately as opposed to I probably would have DNF'd this if it wasn't for book club.
Really?
If that was just on my own, the first little bit,
Mhm.
I probably wouldn't have finished it. So I'm glad that A, it was for book
Wow.
club because I would have missed out on a really good book.
Mhm.
But afterwards, I was just trying to think of what could have happened, what could have changed to really just lock me in the beginning, and it probably was something like that. But
That makes sense.
that whole thing, I thought it was realistic.
Mhm.
You know, two kids hit someone else,
Mhm.
don't want to get in trouble, got their whole lives ahead of them, you know, but yeah, that felt like when is it going to come out that she did this? Because
Yeah.
that's the real thing. Like, forget you being drunk at a party or you kissing this person, or when is that going to come out?
I knew something was kind of suspicious when she said she went back and there was just no sign of this ever happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no blood on the road, like, except for the tree,
Mm-hmm.
everything was intact.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, snap. So either this thing didn't really happen and she's cuckoo cuckoo, or this is a setup.
Yeah.
That's when I started being like, very suspicious. What did you think about Devon and his struggles in, like, with his sexuality, keeping it from his mom, and just like his struggle with being this person and not being able to tell the person that he loves the most?
I felt really bad for him because, you know, as we've talked about before, that's got to be a very difficult thing to go through to have these feelings and feel like you can't express them. The mom kind of pissed me off a little bit though when he showed up beat up and she didn't really acknowledge it or say anything at all. It's like the fuck?
Yeah.
So you just aren't what?
Yeah.
You aren't worried? And then later on in the book it came out like he's been so for me, I think initially I felt like the mom has to know.
Mm-hmm.
She just doesn't want to know kind of thing. And it turned out it wasn't that she didn't want to know. I want you to tell me in your own time. Because for me, it just felt if he's saying he's been getting beat up for years because of this, you're going home to your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't she think something's up? She has to know.
Yeah.
So I felt really bad for him. And then just his whole living situation and the mom, it wasn't for lack of trying. It was that hard dynamic of you can tell he's raised well and that he loves his mom because all he wants to do is help her.
Yeah.
But as a parent, wow, I never want my kids to feel like what's going to happen to us if they can't get a job or what's going to happen to us if they can't. And the mom was trying, working 3 jobs. It wasn't like she was a drug addict or lazy or like she was
working mom,
busting her ass and still not quite making ends meet. I just felt bad for his whole situation.
Yeah, it was really devastating. Just the whole struggle.
Yeah.
You know, like not feeling like you're good enough, but your mom really working hard to give you this opportunity and you want the opportunity, but you really hate this whole situation and you really don't want to be here, but she wants it for you, so I have to want it.
And you got these 2 little brothers. It's not just you and her.
Right. And, you know, chances are, like, I got to get somewhere so that I can then help them get to where they're supposed to be.
A lot's riding on him.
Yeah. How did you feel about his whole dad situation?
I did not like that they didn't tell him that when he went to go visit his dad, that was his death day on death row. That was
like...
I was totally anticipating it and just building myself up and expecting it that when he went to go see Dre, that when he asked the lady to, you know, if he could see his dad, I was just like, he's gone.
Yeah.
I would have been shocked if, oh yeah, he's here, let me go get him. And I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought for sure that they were going to say, but I wasn't expecting it that it had happened as long ago as it did.
Right, like literally on that day.
That's what really hit me.
For him to say, I don't want you to ever come back, that him being mad at his mom makes me feel like the mom and the dad had a very clear mutual understanding
Right.
that we're not going to tell him this. I'm going to tell him I don't ever want him to come back and he doesn't have to know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that was the whole purpose of it. Because
Right.
for her to have stopped going and then, you know, as much as they were in love and all of this, you know, it just, I can't imagine that it was just, it didn't serve a purpose.
I really
other
would
than
have
for
liked to have known what
protection.
he did
Yeah.
because they didn't say that. The dad was just kind of glossed over it. Well, I did something that they think I shouldn't have, and I don't think it was wrong, so I didn't apologize. So, okay. So, what did you? I felt like that part was missing a little bit, but when he visited Dre and asked him, what do the colors mean? I was like,
Damn.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a hit. I like the way that was delivered.
Perfect.
Yes.
Chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And it couldn't have been any better,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you.
I agree.
And even just his interaction with the lady at the counter, you could just feel the awkwardness of
Mm-hmm.
this small talk. When that whole small talk thing was happening, I was
And
like,
she just kept,
ugh.
yeah, I was like, she doesn't know how to say it. Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you feel about the whole Dre situation? Like him getting locked up and
With the whole Dre situation, I really felt like, man, you really can never look at a person and just assume what they're attracted to or what they like. And I thought that was sad. And that made me think about, what is that show? I've never seen it, but I have watched clips of it on YouTube. Was it Pink Valley?
oh, P Valley.
P Valley, yeah. Of like, the gangster rapper characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me think about that for whatever reason. Just here's this drug dealer, like supposed to be like all hard and this and that. And I don't think being homosexual makes you a soft male at all. Like, I don't. So, but there's this kind of stigma, I guess. And, people think like, he's coming there to like, he's getting served in a different way. He's getting served in more ways than one, let me just say.
Which, I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, I'm sure all of his boys knew exactly what time it was.
And Devon said that.
Yeah. Which makes the whole beatdown that much harder.
That bothered me. And it's like, well, that's status quo, What did you think about, so in the midst of Aces, which Aces I thought was like a perfect name. And I like the audio, how it was like, Aces. It really reminded me of One of Us's line. And honestly, when I started reading this book, it was putting me in mind of that because there were a lot of correlations between it. Both of them take place in high school. The main difference is with Aces, you didn't know who it was, and that's kind of the purpose of the book, of finding out who it is. One of Us is lying. It's very clear that there's this school gossip thing and who's behind it. Okay. You know who it is. So there are some correlations with that for me.
So in Gossip Girl, that's kind of how the gossip is spread. Like the voice has that type of Aces, like, XOXO, like it has that voice. So, and I think I think the author did mention that she was inspired by Gossip Girl.
She did, yeah.
And was in school when she wrote this. And it's like loosely influenced by her own personal experiences.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So yeah, One of Us is like, it's similar. Just so, well, guys, I guess our favorite star football player had some blah blah. It's kind of like that. So,
yeah, and that's very much how Gossip Girl is. Very like messy, anonymous, texting people's business.
So it's like a modern Mean Girls burn book type of thing.
Yeah, but like in mass text messages but like for, I want to say it takes place in like New York. So it's like super ritzy, private school New York kids who just have parents' money, get dropped off in like private cars and, like imagine like Clueless meets Mean Girls meets Sex in the City.
Okay.
In high school.
Got it. Okay. I'll have to check the show out. Sounds interesting.
I didn't follow the entire series because I think by the time this show came out, I was like kind of past where I would have gotten sucked into it. But I did see episodes here and there to have like a good general concept of like, you know, some of the mess.
Yeah.
So it was very, I like the concept of it and having that voice of like XOXO.
Yeah.
And
I appreciated
with Aces,
that.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was a tiny bit for me nostalgic, but I could see somebody who really followed the show would just be like over the moon even more so than me.
That's what I was going to ask you. So how did you feel about these extra characters coming up when they did? So after the jumping, Devon gets rescued by this dude, Terrell, who tells him that they knew each other in middle school and that they had kissed before. And Devon starts saying how he has such a good memory. And like, what did you feel about all of that? Were you, because I was kind of like, this seems a little,
yeah, it
don't
seemed
trust
very
him.
suspicious. And I honestly thought for a hot second that he would be Aces, but then I also was like, but why though?
Right.
Like, what purpose would that serve? He doesn't go to the school. He has nothing to lose or gain.
Right. He talks about being distrustful of all white people himself.
Yeah.
Right.
So I enjoyed his character, like his cynicism in that way. But I just didn't really, I couldn't put my finger on what purpose is he serving other than throwing us off.
And meanwhile, Belle comes in with Chiamaka, who basically was dating Jamie. I didn't like how over the moon she was for Jamie. That bothered me. It felt realistic, don't get me wrong, but I just pictured Chiamaka, even though I didn't particularly care for her character, sounded like she was just this gorgeous black girl, just, you know, people looking up to her, got little freshmen bringing her coffee and things like that, and you dating like way beneath you, you know, just to try to like put on airs or whatever. And then I don't know, I wanted her like with a strong guy. I don't know, just felt like she was lusting after the wrong things. Or maybe not lusting after, but just, you know, but everybody's been there.
I feel like Belle kind of represented the first time that Chiamaka actually dated somebody out of pure interest without anything to gain.
Yeah, for sure. But she came along when all this ACEs stuff was initially getting started.
Right.
So it felt very...
But it also, like, the way she presented herself was as an ally. Like, when Jamie was making light of the whole ACEs situation, and she was like, you're an ass. This isn't funny.
Right.
And so at that moment, you're just kind of like, okay, well, maybe she is cool. She's a girl's girl. But then, you know, you kind of obviously gather that she's like, well, I was only really hanging out with him because I was trying to hang out with you. So then you gather that maybe they're a lot more alike than what you realize. So I kind of like that. I was not surprised.
I agree.
At the whole Belle thing.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking white people.
Yeah. I felt torn.
Like, fucking white people,
I felt torn at their placements in the story, but it was very strategic and very good on the author because it felt like, okay, it's just been established these fuckers can't trust anybody. At their school. So at least they're not talking to their parents about this stuff. So if they didn't have these people, this one person they could talk to and confide in about all of this, it's good that they have that. But also don't trust them because they're coming in at a very convenient time. So it was this weird paradigm that was very interesting. But I liked her relationship with Belle, them being friends and things. So I didn't initially think it was going to be what it was when Belle was basically getting in her face like, oh, so is it true? Is it not true kind of thing? And then I respected that she came clean with it. And while Jamie's lying and him just feeling like I can tell her whatever and she's going to be cool with it. So I love that. Nope, that was not the case at all.
Jeez. I think the biggest shock for me, well, I can't even say it was the biggest shock. Yeah, there was a bunch. So I was surprised and also not surprised, if that makes sense, with Devon's music teacher.
I was really upset.
I was surprised. Okay, I was not surprised. I was very disappointed.
I was very disappointed.
I was hoping that my instinct was going to be really off.
I 1000% agree, because he even told Terrell was like, name two or name one, or how many. Yeah. Name one or two white people that just have really good intentions for you and want the best for you. Yeah. I'll wait. Go ahead. Yeah. And he said his music teacher. And you've been working on this piece with this man for Juilliard the entire time you've been at this school. Right. So then to find all this out, and then it's like, oh, what is this piece for? Like, he's playing dumb? It's for Juilliard. Like, what do you mean? Like that. I
can't do this anymore. This is just too much.
That whole thing was, wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Knife in the heart.
Yeah. It's like that was all the hope that he had, and just.
So part of me was kind of thinking that somehow maybe the mom might have been like the original student. I don't know why.
Fell off the face and just
because I don't know. I guess I was expecting like for the mom to be a little oblivious to the stuff that's happening.
Was an interesting take
at the school, and for her to be so like with the bruises and the this and the that, and like maybe she's been brainwashed. Like maybe that's why she's so down on her luck, because she was like basically student zero, and she never got to graduate from high school, so she's working these sorry jobs because she, but then I'm like, but why would she send her student there? And
did the timeline work out though?
Probably not.
Okay.
I just was like, the whole time all this stuff is happening, I'm trying to figure out who his ace is, and they're looking at these pictures, and I'm like, yeah, but he would have recognized her, because like we never really got tidied up with the dad, and so I'm like, maybe they're somehow connected to all of this, but they would never send their son there if they knew. So I like when stuff started to unravel, I honestly was like, everybody is aces. Like everybody is the person. I thought it was Terrell. I thought it was Belle. I thought it was Jamie. I thought it was the headmaster. I thought it was the teacher. Same. I literally thought it was everyone.
I agree. I thought it was every single person that they mentioned, including the dude at the candy store. Like I thought it was every person.
Was aces.
So what did you think when they go and they decide, okay, we're gonna, first of all, the little nerdy dude who gave her all of this information, what computer to go to and all of that, met up on a Sunday, they go there.
That was slightly predictable.
Yeah. Did you think it was Belle, or did you think it was the girl who she hit? Like, just imagining Chiamako's reaction, I thought it was Belle too.
Yeah. I thought she was like, dang, my girlfriend out here.
Like, et tu, Belle?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, man, what? Like, she, that's for Jamie. Right. But then, when she, with her reaction being so extreme, I was like,
yeah.
So then I started thinking maybe the girl who they hit didn't die, but is aces and has orchestrated this whole thing because she knew who hit her and she wanted to get revenge. And then there was somebody else who I thought might be related to that girl and be seeking revenge or something like that.
Yeah.
Did you see this stuff with the reporter coming?
I did. I did, because here's the thing. Okay, well, first of all, before we get there, imagine, well, I mean, there wouldn't have been a book. Haha, we always do that.
Yeah. But typical Black people. Yeah. Don't go in that door. Roll credits. Movie is over.
Done. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But when she was supposed to tackle old girl, or they didn't know it was a girl, but when she was supposed to tackle him, and then he tie him up or whatever, and that didn't happen, and Chiamaka just fucking dips out because she's freaked out. Imagine if Devon just would have left too, like chasing after her. The fact that he stayed and let me see what this is. Yeah. Him going through the computer and opening up the folders and just, I can't imagine how he felt sitting there and seeing the faces of all these people and their assignments.
Yeah. Going back decades.
Yeah.
Like, this whole thing has been orchestrated and completed.
From the inside out.
Yep. Relationship that you have had for the last 4 years, no matter how insignificant.
Right.
Everybody's purpose is literally to interact with you for this one reason.
Yep. That's for real the long con. And what's crazy, Chiamaka spent her whole high school career building herself up to be what she was. She was always a prefect. She was always all of this. It's very strange and especially cruel that Devon, he went to the school, he did a good job, but he stayed under the radar the whole time. He wasn't trying to be popular, he wasn't trying to talk to people, he kept his head down, and then he went back home to the hood, and he got up and he came back, and he's just trying to get a better life for his family. That is his motivation. Chiamaka wants to be a doctor, she wants to keep, they each have their own motivations. But to make him a prefect, his senior year, like all of a sudden you're recognizing him and you're making him this thing, like the fact that you just bring him all the way up just to bring him crashing down is especially cruel. Because
I actually think it's especially cruel for Chiamaka because she had worked so hard to go to the top, to know you only got here because we allowed you.
Right.
Like for him, he's like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't ask for any of this.
Right.
But literally her whole academic career has been one big okie doke.
Yes.
Like, talk about the rug being pulled from underneath you.
Mm-hmm.
And what really broke my heart was Jack.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Yeah. Because they grew up in the same neighborhood.
Ultimately, at 2.
Right.
Yeah. You really, really, like, not only did you stick a knife in, you stuck it in salt and then stuck it in again.
So question for you, was this clear because, and Jack knew because for you to allow him to beat the shit out of you and you don't even attempt to fight back and then your uncle comes in, no, it's cool. Yeah.
I thought Devon was going to kill him, to be honest.
I thought he was too. Did they say when he turned? I don't know if that was clarified, but he brought up affirmative action because he's like, why would you do this?
I think he was in it from the beginning too. Like, but they've known each other since they were kids.
That's the thing. They've known each other since they were kids, and they've grown up in that.
He was indoctrinated when he got into high school. Like when they both got accepted to that school, that's when Jack was indoctrinated into.
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't know if it was that year, that senior year, or. Okay. Yeah. Because everybody else, they basically got their family has been in this. This is just what we do as a family. Right. We go here and we do this. But that wasn't Jack's case because he grew up in the hood with Devon. Right. So it started when his freshman year.
I think for Jack, it was they grew like for him to have turned it down means that I no longer have this opportunity. And they basically, like are brainwashing like. Just like in current events.
Right.
Look at all these people taking all this from you. Mm-hmm. And obviously he's bottom barrel too.
Right.
But I'm white. So yeah, I deserve to be here.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. He's only here because XY, so like I think it really played with his mental.
Yeah.
But because they've known each other since they were kids, like there was part of his humanity that I think it made him feel so guilty, which is why over those years he started pulling back and wasn't talkative and this and like he played his role, but
it was set up to where you thought it was because when Devon came out to him, he's uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
So he
knew all of it, and that's why he's like, you deserve everything that's coming to you. And I was like,
yeah,
what else is coming to him?
Yeah.
Like, how would you know? And that was another like,
that tripped me out. And you know what really took me out? When Jamie told Chiamaka, like, who hit the girl? Who was driving?
Yeah.
I was like,
I saw that coming though.
So
when he was acting like he didn't know what she was talking about all this time.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you know exactly what she's talking about, but you flip the script. I felt really bad for her with the like whatever happened at his house party.
Yeah.
Like with the photos and feeling sore and all of that. Like we can't confirm or deny what happened.
Right.
But clearly something not so bueno happened. The whole wormhole, I knew the reporter was going to be linked up in this, especially when they said it was other schools. It fell too quickly in line, and then his random tweet, just like, you're going to tweet about this and we're meeting with the reporter tomorrow, seemed a little reckless.
I mean, thank goodness that he did tweet about it, obviously. I felt like, okay, this is going to probably go viral, and that's great that he did that. I had hope for the reporter initially when it was like, yeah, this is the kind of thing that we want, because that would be a good story.
It was too perfect,
honestly. But what did it is we're gonna broadcast this, but we're gonna pretend like, what news station is gonna go through that trouble to try to get a story out of it?
Yeah.
And then just in the logistics
and the school's
of
just gonna let you go in.
You're gonna pretend to be waiters, but who's filming this? How are you gonna film it for the world to see without an actual rolling camera for people to see? There's no hiding that on a tray or under it. So that whole thing just didn't.
It was a little hokey.
And when they go to Terrell's house and explain, he's like, "That's great." Devon's like, "Great." I was really looking forward to him kind of.
Yeah, he was like, computer 17. I would have never picked up on it, but he was like, wait, I never mentioned that. And I feel like the computer 17 wasn't so much in your face. So I would have liked it to be, maybe, let's say Terrell mentioned something about the betrayal of his teacher, for him to say, but I didn't tell you about that. That we would have remembered. The specific computer number, I had, like, that with all the stuff that was happening. I remembered the computer number. You did?
Yeah, I did.
I was like, computer number, what is this computer 17? Like, there's just too much stuff going on for me to remember the specifics of, like, what difference does it make?
Yeah.
So I guess it's just me then.
Yeah. Well, no, because he had mentioned that was a specific detail that I didn't tell anybody. His teacher turning on him, I felt like that would have been something that he told Terrell, because he had previously said, I trust this guy.
He didn't tell him.
He didn't. They didn't say a lot of things that they should have said. Thank goodness for protesters, man. They saved the day.
Which was a little kind of like,
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know, like, people do be showing up.
Yeah.
When needed, so...
when he found out it was Beth, and like, I guess I wasn't surprised, because just how strong her reaction was. I know it would have been a strong reaction because I thought it was Belle, but it felt stronger. And then the very next chapter, she starts explaining, like, this is the girl that's been in my dreams because I hit her. And that's really fucked up too. She's regretted this. She didn't even do it. She was obviously an accessory. She was a part of it. She could have easily have gone to the police. But again, what would have happened if she'd gone to the police? That would have blown their whole... So they were just banking on her doing exactly what she did, essentially. So
by making her in fear of losing everything.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But yeah, that was... Just the whole thing was just one big hot plot twist.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. I absolutely love the epilogue.
I think the epilogue had to be there. Let me tell you, when he said that last line of we're gonna dream because we deserve it, and then the music started, I think I was washing dishes. I was like, they're better be.
You were like, wait, how much time we got left on this thing?
I was like, there better be an epilogue to find out. And so yeah, I was happy, but I would have liked to know what happened to the school and the other kids after. That's the only thing. I felt like I thought the part of the headmaster being her patient was chef's kiss. I love that.
Perfect.
Um,
And for
but
him to be like in shock of, yeah, I still got where I needed to be
yep.
without you.
hmm And I loved that they now make it a point to recruit other students away from schools like that do
Yeah.
that. I love the epilogue and I thought it was great. I just felt like I would have wanted to know, okay, so Niveus burned down, like what happened with graduation, what
To be honest with you, I feel like everybody just moved on with their lives. Like it was what the end of school anyway.
yeah.
I feel like people probably just got their diplomas, went on with their business.
Obviously, I would have liked a little bit more. For as long as the book was like 14 hours long, I felt like you could have threw in an extra 30 minutes and just given some backstory on that. I would have liked that, but yeah, just that
Yeah,
that was an
something as
awesome
simple
ending.
as like, a week later, everybody seemed to have moved on with their lives.
Yeah,
Never
like a
heard
little
from.
something. It just went from high school burned down to now we're grown. And, I do love that he was still with Terrell and, living with his mom. I love that his mom was alive. It didn't mention his brothers, I don't think. But um yeah, and then him and Chiamaka are still friends and
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I love the
enjoyed
ending.
that they kept their friendship.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that they started their own school and a
Mhm.
mission to educate. And is there a part of you that's like, I wonder?
There's a big part of me.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's like, hell yeah.
I don't know if they're that structured where every 10 years or every,
Mhm.
because that just seemed very intentional for whatever reason. We're
Right.
going to ruin someone's life every
Well,
10
too
years.
far apart that like a whole generation could go and not be able to realize that this is a thing.
Yeah.
Because if you do it too often, then people are going to notice a pattern. But if you're waiting 10 years, these people would be, their kids might be having kids.
Yeah, but it's not like you're admitting Black students every year, but every 10 years you decide to destroy two of them.
Yeah.
You're only admitting Black
Every
people
10
every
years.
10 years.
True.
So that in itself establishes a pattern. But yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then especially listening to the author where, yeah, I could see why you felt inspired to write this book, but I appreciate that it was a very dark time in my life. And, this is one of those books, like reading it, it would make you be real mad.
Yeah.
Real mad.
Just if I were in school right now, I'd probably suck my teeth at every person.
Right.
I'd be like, Black people unite.
Right. So, it's very like HBCU only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to,
Yeah. But no, a very, very good book. And for a debut novel,
Chef's Kiss.
Excellent. Yeah.
So good.
I loved it.
I really enjoyed it. I love the artwork, like you mentioned.
It's beautiful.
It is. Like, I just kept flipping because I was looking at it on my phone. So I just would flip it around to just really, I don't know. I think the artist captured these characters perfectly.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I love that they did Chiamaka with the curly hair because they mentioned that she wore her hair straight a lot.
And especially because she really tapped into herself towards the end. I think it would have done her a disservice to have her with like this straight hair with a headband, looking like,
right.
You just kind of be like, but we don't like that version of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
no, I love that, and I appreciated her mom doing her hair and cooking, and
she was a gem.
Yeah, I love that.
When she was talking about the food and her dad is cooking and like the spices, I was like, oh, I don't know why this smells so good, but I want to taste it. She's like, when her husband's like, yeah, everybody can't handle the spice, and she's like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I want to try that so bad. I've never had it, but I got to try
it. Same. Chiamaka did make me laugh too when she first went to Terrell's house and he's like, y'all want to spend the night here? She was like,
I would rather die.
She's like, I'd rather die than spend the night here. No offense. And then said Terrell started laughing. That was a very Karen Walker. Like, you totally just insulted him, but he's still laughing. Yeah.
Chef's Kiss.
Very good book. Good pick.
Yeah. 10 out of 10. I love this book.
All right, good. I'm glad you love that book so much.
Yeah, I did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So stay tuned next We're going to be discussing The Amendment by Kiersten Modglin, which is part 2 in her series. So
yeah,
stay tuned.
And we'll make sure that, because we talked about part 1, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, so I'll make sure that I link that down below.
Awesome.
All right, besties.